This is Ravi, son of a very rich industrialist. Kishan was driving his bike very rashly in the night and met with an accident, which resulted in the death of a pedestrian. The same day, Ravi too met with an accident while driving his car rashly. In this accident, a child died. Do you think both will get the same punishment? Yes. According to the rule of law established by the Constitution, every person in independent India is equal before the law. The law cannot discriminate between people on the basis of their religion, caste, or gender. Neither a government official, nor a wealthy person, nor even the president of the country is above the law. But do you think this law prevailed in India during earlier times? In ancient India, different communities enjoyed different degrees of autonomy in administering these laws among their own. This slowly began to change during the colonial period. It was often believed that it was the British colonists who introduced the rule of law in India. But historians disputed this claim on several grounds. Firstly, the colonial law was arbitrary. Secondly, the Indian nationalists played a prominent role in the development of the legal sphere in British India. Recall the history of colonial period. Can you think of any example of arbitrariness in British law? The Sedition Act of 1870, through which any person protesting or criticizing the British government could be arrested without due trial. Secondly, the Rowlatt Act of 1919, which allowed the British government to imprison people without due trial. Indian nationalists began protesting and criticizing this arbitrary use of authority by the British. By the end of the 19th century, the Indian legal profession also began emerging, and they began to use law to defend the legal rights of Indians. Finally, the Constitution served as the foundation on which our representatives began making laws for the country. Every year, our representatives pass several new laws as well as revise existing ones. Recall the Hindu Succession Amendment Act 2005, according to which sons, daughters, and their mothers can get an equal share of family property. The Parliament has an important role in making laws. Are you aware of Protection of Women from Domestic Violence Act 2005? Let us observe how this law evolved. There are many women in our society who are victims of domestic violence in various ways. Throughout the 1990s, the need for a new law against domestic violence was raised in different forums. In 1999, Lawyers Collective, a group of lawyers, law students, and activists, after nationwide consultations, took the lead in drafting the Domestic Violence Prevention and Protection Bill. This draft bill was widely circulated. Finally, the bill was introduced in Parliament in 2002, but it was not able to fulfill people's expectation. Several women's organizations, National Commission for Women, made submissions to the Parliamentary Standing Committee for reconsideration of their demands. In December 2002, the Standing Committee submitted its recommendations to the Rajya Sabha, and these were also tabled in the Lok Sabha. The committee's report accepted most of the demands of the women's groups. Finally, a new bill was reintroduced in the Parliament in 2005. After being passed in both the houses of Parliament, it was sent to the President for his assent. The Protection of Women from Domestic Violence Act came into effect in 2006. Domestic violence refers to the injury or harm or threat caused by an adult male, usually the husband against his wife. Injury may be caused by physically beating up the woman or by emotionally abusing her. According to the Act, the term domestic includes all women who live or have lived together in a shared household, with the male member who is perpetrating the violence. From establishing the need for a new law to its being passed, at every stage of the process, the voice of the citizen is a crucial element. This can be heard through TV reports, newspaper editorials, radio broadcasts, local meetings, etc. Do you think all the laws enacted are supported by all? Sometimes the Parliament passes laws that turn out to be very unpopular. Can you think of any such example of unpopular law? Various municipal laws on the use of space within municipal limit often make hawking and street vending illegal. No one will dispute on the necessity of some rules to keep the public space open. But we also cannot deny the hawkers and vendors and provide essential services cheaply and efficiently to the millions living in a large city. Moreover, this is the means of livelihood for a large number of people. Hence, if the law favors one group and disregards the other, it will be controversial and can lead to conflict. In a democracy like India, citizens can express their unwillingness to accept repressive laws framed by the Parliament. When a large number of people begin to feel that a wrong law has been passed, then there is pressure on the Parliament to change this.